Many chartering disputes arise from misunderstanding charter party expense obligations. Usually, not all expenses are predefined in the charter party. I am Captain Mohamed Bazina, Managing Director of Bazina Shipping. Topics will be discussed today. We will explore owner's responsibility and we will end up with recommendations to avoid disputes. The charterer is responsible for commercial management and related expenses as explained in the last video. Whatever related to the commercial management of the ship, entering port and so on, all these are for the charterer's expenses. Today we will talk about owner's expenses. The ship owner is responsible for the technical management. Whatever related to the technical management, this is for the owner's account. We have so many clauses regarding expenses and expense allocation for the ship owner. The ship owner's responsibility is preparing the ship prior to delivery to the charterer. Before the ship is delivered to the charterer, the ship owner is responsible to make the ship in seaworthy condition and ready for the voyage or the intended voyage and for the intended cargo as agreed. As you can see here, we have many clauses describing the owner's responsibility, like in SHELLTIME, clause number 1 and 3, NYPE 2015, clause number 2, and BALTIME. This is one example regarding NYPE. The vessel on delivery shall be seaworthy and in every way fit to be employed in the intended service. Owner also is responsible for cargo hold cleanliness obligations at delivery to make the cargo holds ready to receive the cargo. If the intended first cargo is declared, cargo holds must meet the required cleanliness standards. Failure of hold inspection places the vessel off hire until the holds pass re-inspection again. So this is wasted time for the ship owner. As you can see here in NYPE 2015, obligation of the ship owner to make the ship ready to receive the intended cargo. Owner is responsible for keeping the vessel seaworthy and cargo-worthy to avoid delay and off-hire expenses. Also, owner is responsible of keeping the vessel in class as agreed in the charter party. Ship's class is maintained with classification societies such as Lloyd's Register, American Bureau of Shipping, ABS, and other classification society, of course. So the ship's class is so important for the charterer as well because it affects seaworthiness of the vessel, cargo worthiness, also cargo insurance premium payable by the charterer. Because the charterer is buying insurance for his cargo, the insurance company will ask what is the class of the ship. Accordingly, they will determine how much is the rate or the insurance rate. Regarding charter party references here, NYPE 2015 talking about keeping the ship in class and SHELLTIME for clause number 3. If the vessel is not properly crewed, lacks of provision, stores, or related expenses are not paid, the ship may be put off hire for any delay. Crewing the vessel and associated expenses are clearly spelled out in NYPE 2015, clause number 2, and SHELLTIME for 2003, clause number 1, 3, and 6. Provisions and stores also are included as in NYPE and SHELLTIME. Regarding vessel insurance and off-hire expenses, owner remain responsible for ship's insurance here. We are talking about hull insurance here as mentioned under NYPE and SHELLTIME here. Owners bear fuel costs while the vessel is off-hire. If the ship is off-hire, of course, the charterer is not going to pay for fuel cost here or as per the charter party agreed. So fuel consumed for owner's purposes is for owner's account. Like for example, if the ship has to deviate for maintenance or dry docking or whatever, all that consumed fuel will be for the owner's account. Expenses incurred during off-hire or for owners' purposes are paid by the owners here. Owners remain responsible for overall ship management and operation. So whatever related to ship management and operation is for the owner's account. Chartering broker's commission is payable by owner. Address commission is also payable by owners. If the commission are not mentioned in the main charter party form, they may be agreed separately in the rider clause. Regarding commission, owners pay the agreed broker's commission on hire earned under the charter party. Also, address commission is a rebate deducted by the charterer from hire payment. Commission also applied to any continuation or extension of the charter period, which is address commission. The deduction applies to hire earned during the charter and any agreed extension period. This is how it looks like in NYPE 2015, clause number 53 about the commission. Spells out the commission here. Regarding expenses to be shared, let's talk about on-hire and off-hire survey. Before the ship is delivered from the owner to the charterer, we have to do on-hire survey. So usually this is paid by the ship owner and any time wasted for the ship owner's account. Regarding off-hire survey expenses, so it will be for the account of the charterer when the ship will go back from the charterer to the owner. So the expenses of the off-hire survey and the time waste will be for the charterer's account. Here we are talking again the time lost due to the on-hire survey is for the owner's account. Time lost due to off-hire survey is for charterer's account. Owners bear risk of delay at delivery. Charterers bear the risk of delay at redelivery. General average arises when extraordinary sacrifice expenditure is made to preserve or complete the voyage, the ship and the cargo. So standard charter party forms provide for general average. All parties with an interest in the voyage contribute according to the value of their property. If the ship, for example, sailing from port A to port B and due to bad weather, the ship for example, encountered bad weather and she cannot continue or some kind of problem happened to the ship, they have to make some cargo jetation. So that cargo or the value of that cargo, everyone has to contribute for the price of that cargo or maybe some other expenses like if we have to ask for tugboat, for example, so the expenses will be shared according to the value of each interest. The ship and cargo usually make the largest contribution. Here how it looks like, spelled out general average in NYPE 2015, clause number 25, how it looks like, you can read it at your own pace. Regarding salvage contribution and proceeds, expenses incurred in saving life should be shared equally between owners and charterer, but sometimes we can save property, for example, so the reward or the value should be divided equally between the owner and the charterer, of course, after deducting the master and the crew share. Specific salvage provision may be depending on the charter party wording. Here, how it looks like in NYPE, it spells out salvage and derelict benefits are shared equally between owners and charterers after deduction. Deductions include owners and charterers' expenses and crew shares. Expenses considered may include hire lost during salvage operation. Also, it includes bunkers consumed, repairs to the vessel damage. Final salvage proceeds or reward are distributed after accounting for all these costs. Here how it looks like and spelled out salvage in clause number 25 in SHELLTIME 4. Let's define stowaway. A stowaway is a person who secretly boards a vessel without permission or valid travel documents. As you can see here, stowaways are climbing windlass, anchor windlass here to enter the ship and hide somewhere in the ship, which is very common in some countries. And sometimes they can hide in cargo spaces or containers, whatever. We talked about that issue in a separate video. Charterers must exercise due care to prevent stowaways hiding in cargo-related spaces. If charterers fail to prevent access through cargo operations, related expenses are for charter's account. If charters fail to prevent access through cargo operations, related expenses are for charter's account. Owners are responsible for stowaway expenses if access occurs other than unrelated to cargo, like in this photo here. This is for the owner's account, of course. Related charter party forms, example on SHELLTIME for clause number 1 and 3 and NYPE clause number 42. As you can see here, you can read it at your own pace. Let's talk about recommendations to avoid disputes here. Clearly define expense allocation in the charter party. You need to review relevant clauses carefully before fixing the vessel. Clarify gray area regarding expenses and operational responsibilities. You need to always refer to the applicable charter party form and rider clauses. Clearly specify which expenses remain for owner's account during off-hire periods, because in some forms the charterer still has to pay for off-hire expenses here in some forms, which is not fair for the charterer. Thank you for watching. For ship chartering training and consultancy, please visit my website for upcoming courses. Don't forget to subscribe and activate notifications on my YouTube channel so you can receive insights and chartering lessons. See you in the next video.